I can fix the selection. I can. Well, I can't, but somebody can. If you listen to me, you can fix the selection. Where are my manners? Welcome to Psyche's Thoughts. My name isn't Psyche, though. It's Elizabeth. But you're here. I'm here. We're here because I have decided to get on here every day and share a random thought because why not? So, unleash the burden. And so, following the theme of books and reading and tropes and whatnot, really has nothing. This is about the selection by Kira Cass. So if you don't know nothing about the selection, I mean you can stay, but I don't know, whatever. Yes. So okay, I'm going to I'm going to tell you a story. It's not no story. The other day on Sunday, I think I was going through my Google Drive because it's full, and I saw my the selection spin-off fanfic that I wrote in like the 8th grade. I never finished it because I don't ever finish anything. The one thing about me, I ain't never finished anything. You know what? I might put a book out on Wattpad just to say and finish it just to say, I finished something. But what was I saying? I was saying I saw my fanfic, right? And yes, I was straight up I was world building. I might put it back up. I was straight up world building in like 8th grade at the tender age of like 13, 14, because the selection was that serious for me. Now, I read the first 3 books. I didn't read the spin-off. The last one, I think it's called I don't know what it's called. I know the cover is like purple. I didn't read that one. I didn't read that one. No. But I read the first 3. I loved the first 3, obviously to the point that I wrote fan fiction about it, right? And so I have pleasant memories of the selection. I had my criticisms in the way that I felt about it, but I had pleasant memories. And I thought that overall, other people also had pleasant memories of the selection as well. Little did I know, people think the selection is booty butt cheeks. And you know what? They're kind of right. But okay, I'm supposed to be defending the selection. But the problem with the selection is that a lot of the criticisms that people have of it are very fair, and it's very true. But if you listen to me, we can fix them. Okay, the selection has a very good concept. And I have notes because this is serious business, okay? This is very serious business. But it has a very, I would say, decent world building. And I'm the type of person, you give me decent world building, I'm gonna run. Listen, I watch One Piece. That plot might be okay. Anyway, this is not about One Piece. This is not about. Anyway, I was sad. I was sad for the selection because of, I guess, the concept was really interesting to me, and I think it still can be really interesting. It's just not properly fleshed out. But what was properly fleshed out was the tension. I think that, you know yeah, the romantic tension between America and Maxon. It was like, you the caste system, the idea of a caste system, I think was really interesting and cool. Even though not properly fleshed out, I think what I liked about the selection was that it gave dystopian-ish, like, it wasn't, if you feel like Hunger Games was too much ice and maybe like regular romance tropes were not enough, I think that the selection was like a proper, I wouldn't say balance, but it was like, if you want dystopian but not too dystopian, you're gonna read the selection, right? Beautiful. It wasn't deep. It wasn't deep. Were the names bad? The names were horrible. The names were horrible. The names give me like, if I were to like look at somebody from Utah's Pinterest board for baby names, that's what the names in selection gave me. But it's okay. I still love it. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, yes. Obviously, the one of the main criticisms that the selection got was that The revolution kind of made no sense. Like, yes, the caste system was interesting. There wasn't enough commentary. There wasn't really um enough development with the rebels, right? And the monarchy didn't really feel like politically realistic. Like it kind of felt like they were forcing the dystopian. Like, it's one thing to have maybe some semblance of like political disruption, because like maybe nobody's ever going to be completely satisfied with a monarchy, right? But it kind of felt like they was forcing the rebel thing, like, oh yeah, the rebels. And it was like, where did the rebels come from? What was their incentive? Like, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And I think that if I'm going to give the selection a little bit of grace, America is not in America's not the character that's going to care about that, right? Because America, and we're gonna get there, but America was aggy as hell, and she didn't really give a damn. She didn't really give a damn. America's main motivations for joining the selection was her personal survival, right? And so we only ever get her perspective, and she don't really give a she doesn't really care. She doesn't give a toss about what's happening around her, really. She doesn't really even like what's happening to like her so-called friends. She doesn't really seem to care all that much. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. So if I were going to do a limited series, that can get fleshed out, because if we're doing a series on the selection, and we America doesn't have to be the main character. Like, obviously, because American Max in our end game, we're gonna follow their storyline, but we can flesh out the things that need to be fleshed out. Okay. Okay. Anyway, um, on to America. Her Aggie, she I think that my main problem with America was like, again, the things you can say about America Singer as a character are a lot of things you can say about YA during that time period. It was a whole bunch of girls that was just like um in this, like, they were like, you know how Katniss Everdeen was an unreliable narrator because she thought that everybody hated her and didn't care about her. America was like that, but a little bit more. Like, all the characters during that era were, I'm not like other girls, I'm different, I don't care about this or that, like, so and nobody like me because I'm like not. That's what America gave, and it was just annoying because it was like, girl, put the dress on and like, just put the dress on, put the dress on, put the dress on, put the dress on. And she, to me personally, I feel like she did a lot of flip flopping between Maxon and Aspen. I'm sorry. By book three, like, we knew it was always going to be Maxon, but by book three, she should know that it's always going to be. I don't, whatever. The world's building in and of itself, it again flopped because there was a lot of focus on America being America. We spent way too much time trying to determine who America was going to choose, like, what America was going to do, if she was going to stay, if she was going to, like, whatever, right? We spent so much time dealing with her indecisiveness that we don't get time to actually develop the world around the story and the book, right? But it was dystopian without the true like consequences of being dystopian. Who dies? You don't even really start to see dystopian things until like the last, like the final act of the book, when America's friend, I forget her name, but when America's friend, one of the girls, one of the contestants, she gets whipped because she was caught with a guard. But that wasn't even dystopian. That was just like, I mean, it low-key was dystopian because why are you whipping her? But it was also just like, okay. Like, yeah, the revolution kind of felt like salad dressing. It was like, oh, like we're just gonna toss it in on top and shake it up so the girls like it because that's what's in right now. That's really what it gave. It gave, the revolution definitely gave, we're gonna throw this element in there because that's what's in right now. It kind of gave, like, they tried to make prom political. Well, they tried to make the bachelorette political and they failed. But 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 this is how we can fix it. This is how we can fix it. The problem, again, like I said, the problem is not the concept of the selection. The problem is not the world of Elia. Again, if you give me the selection, Okay. And you say you have complete creative control. These are the things that I want to do, right? So again, no America POV. America's in there. We're not doing her point of view. She's boring. Sorry. Maxon. Maxon. I want to watch the selection as a limited series from Maxon's perspective, right? Because we also get to see him and his interactions with the other girls in the selection, right? We get to know things about the rebels. We get the back history of the rebels. What are the rebels' motivations? We get to understand on a deeper level the relationship between Maxon and the king, his father, because that wasn't even really discussed also at all either, right? So if we get Maxon, the prince of this country, right, perspective, the politics feel more real. There's more gravity to the rebel attacks. The revolution feels believable, right? And we also get to see from the head down how the caste system actually is functioning, right? And I think it would also be super, super interesting for um because I again the book does a light dusting, but really get into it, like how Maxon interacts with the girls from like lower caste systems, and how the girls from lower caste systems interact in the palace, and like really get into it, like I want a girl whose knows was there in it's been so long since I read it again, so I might need to do a rereading after this. Maybe not. But I want to have one of the girls' friends work at the palace. Have her cousin be a maid at the palace. Anyway, expand the world's building. If you give me the selection, I'm expanding the world building. I again, I'm gonna show. I need to see daily life in the lower caste. I need to see some of the girls' day family, how their family is holding up without them, especially like you know. For other families where America was, she was kind of a pillar in her family, but like I want girls that like are real pillars in their family. Like they taking care of their siblings, like all of that. They taking care of mom, dad, disabled. Like I, I want to see how the lower castes live. I want to see the economic disparity again. I want to see how the people react to propaganda, how they react to seeing the selection on TV. Like I want to see how propaganda works in the monarchy. Does it actually work, or are the people kind of like the jig is up? Okay, right. We only see what America sees, and she's middle class. She's like upper middle. She's like a five, a sheltered five, right? So, yes. What are we going to do on the romantic aspect? Yes, we're going to take it deeper. Take me through that. Take me through. I want to show, I want to see Maxon's vulnerability. Maxon is not vulnerable enough for me. I feel like again the type of character, he's not a stoic person. He's a very much like a golden retriever, like emotional guy in the book, even though again the book is too scared to lean into that. No, lean into it. I need to see Maxon. I i need Maxon to be vulnerable. I need him crying. I need more of Aspen. I need um I need okay, so if I'm going to redo this love triangle, I'm gonna make it less about who do I choose and more of like I'm not jumping classes from America, right? If you want me to believe that this is a real caste system, I want America to believe that she cannot be with Maxon because she's a five, right? And that there like, there's that mental barrier from that. So she's going to stick with what she knows, which is Aspen. Okay. I'm gonna fix the revolution. How am I going to fix the revolution? I'm going to reread it, maybe, and get back to you. But I'm going to give the rebels clear motivations. I want ideological divisions within the rebel groups. I want I want the crown versus, I want the monarchy versus the rebel thing. I feel like it's way too like everybody should support the rebels because monarchy bad. I want it to be a little bit more complex. I want the history of Aaliyah. Why did they even decide? I This is stuff the book answered within like the first chapter. I just probably don't remember. I just want to get into it more. Okay, make it more complex, muddy the waters a bit. I think that, yeah, Again, the core concept is genius. The core concept of like Bachelorette, but make it like a dystopian monarchy. It's genius. That's what the girls want to see. That's really what the girls want to see. To this day. To this day, I promise you. What? You see how Bridgerton is doing numbers? I promise you. Bring the selection back. Bring the selection. Make it a limited series on HBO. Bring the selection back and watch the money flow. Watch this space. Okay, the struggles between the girls that are chosen to be in the selection. I want to see women fight for power. I want to see women use the selection and put a real fight for. I need it. 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 That's what I need. Okay. And maybe my nostalgic brain is making me feel like the selection has way more potential than it actually does. But I've sat here for like 15 minutes and ranted about it. So like, no, there's something here. There's something here. Just let me cook. Let a mind like me cook. I promise you. I I don't know. I promise a billion. I can promise streams. I can promise people gonna watch it. I can promise people gonna watch it. People watch anything. People watch baddies. They will watch. People watch anything. So why not put something worthwhile on my TV screen? Don't give me no remake. I don't want any more remakes. There's too many good books that never got movie deals, that never got show deals out here for us to be doing the same remakes. So give me a selection limited HBO series. That's all I have to say. Did you read the selection? How do you feel about my suggestions? Do you have any more suggestions? Let's talk about this. This is serious business. If you want to see more of me, you can see me here on this channel. In this corner will be the link. Subscribe. You can like the video. You can share this with somebody that has watched the selection so we all can talk about it. You can do that. You can also go to psychestats.com. That's where my writing is. What else can you do? You can have a good night if you're watching this at night. If you're watching this any other time, you can have a good time. I think this is my longest video yet, so it didn't even feel that long. Whatever. Bye bye.